What if the world you know is a lie? A prison built for your mind. This is the story of a man who was given a choice. Take the blue pill and remain a slave in blissful ignorance, or take the red pill and discover the terrifying truth of reality. The story begins in the dead of night. Police units swarm a derelict hotel, hunting a mysterious woman in black leather. They believe they are dealing with a simple criminal, but when a trio of men in black suits, known as agents, arrive on the scene, it is clear this is no ordinary night. The lead agent calmly informs the police lieutenant his men are already dead. Inside, the woman, Trinity, demonstrates superhuman abilities. She defies gravity, dispatching officers with impossible speed and precision. Cornered, she makes a frantic call to her mentor, Morpheus. The line was traced. The agents are closing in. Morpheus guides her to a public phone, her only escape route. A heart-pounding chase ensues across the city rooftops. Trinity leaps across an impossible gap between buildings, but an agent follows, clearing the distance with inhuman strength. Just as a speeding truck bears down on the phone booth, Trinity answers the ringing phone and vanishes. The booth is obliterated, but she is gone. The agents have failed to capture her, but they have secured their next target's name. A name that will change everything. Neo. Far away, a programmer named Thomas Anderson, who moonlights as the hacker Neo, sits alone in his dimly lit apartment. A cryptic message flashes across his screen. Neo. This is followed by an even stranger command. Rabbit. Just then, a knock at the door reveals a group of club goers, and on one woman's shoulder, a tattoo of a white rabbit. Intrigued, Neo abandons his work and follows them into the city's neon-drenched underbelly. In a noisy nightclub, he is approached by the very woman from the hotel, Trinity. She knows his hacker alias. She knows he has been searching for Morpheus, and she knows he is seeking an answer to a single, all-consuming question. What is the Matrix? Trinity warns him that he is being watched before disappearing into the crowd, leaving Neo more confused than ever. The next day, Neo is late for his corporate job, where his boss reprimands him for having a problem with authority. Back at his cubicle, a package arrives containing a cell phone. It rings almost immediately. The voice on the other end is Morpheus. He warns Neo that the agents are coming for him right now. Peeking over his cubicle wall, Neo sees the suited man advancing through the office. Morpheus attempts to guide him to safety, instructing him to climb out onto a scaffold high above the city streets. Paralyzed by fear, Neo freezes. He can't bring himself to make the perilous climb. He surrenders and is taken into custody. In a sterile interrogation room, Agent Smith reveals Neo's double life. He offers to wipe his slate clean in exchange for cooperation in capturing Morpheus. Neo defiantly refuses, demanding his phone call. In a horrifying display of power, Smith asks, "Speak." Neo's mouth seals over, his skin fusing together into a featureless void. The agents then implant a metallic, insect-like bug into his navel. Neo screams, but no sound comes out. He jolts awake in his own bed, convinced it was all a nightmare. But then, the phone rings again. It is Morpheus. He confirms the ordeal was real and offers Neo another chance to meet. "Neo," he says. This time, Neo agrees. He is picked up by Trinity and her crew, who are immediately suspicious of him. They use a strange device to scan his body, claiming he has been bugged. The device whirs to life and extracts the metallic insect from his stomach, which squirms before they dispose of it. Neo is horrified. It is real. Finally, he is brought to a dilapidated hotel to meet the enigmatic Morpheus. Morpheus explains that Neo has felt like a splinter in his mind. His whole life, the feeling that something is wrong with the world. This feeling is the Matrix. Morpheus offers him the ultimate choice, symbolized by two pills. The blue pill to return to his old life, or the red pill to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Without hesitation, Neo chooses the red pill. He is led to a room filled with strange equipment. The pill begins to work, distorting his perception of reality. A mirror liquefies at his touch, and the liquid metal consumes his body, causing him to black out. Neo awakens in a pod filled with red goo, his body covered in tubes. He is in a vast, terrifying tower of human bodies, all connected to a massive machine. A robotic sentinel detaches him, and he is flushed down a chute into a river of sewage. A hovering ship called the Nebuchadnezzar rescues him. Morpheus greets him with the words, "Welcome to the real world." Neo is weak, his muscles atrophied from a lifetime of disuse. Morpheus explains the horrifying truth. The year is not 1999, but closer to 2199. He takes Neo into a simulated white space called the Construct. Here, he shows him the world Neo thought he knew, revealing it as a neural, interactive simulation called the Matrix. Then, he shows him the real world, a scorched, desolate wasteland. It is real. Morpheus recounts the history of the war between humans and machines. Mankind created AI, which turned against them. In a desperate move, humans scorched the sky to cut off the machine's solar power. But the machines found a new energy source, humanity itself. Humans are no longer born, they are grown in endless fields. Their bioelectric energy harvested to power the machine world. Their minds kept docile within the Matrix. The Matrix is a system of control, turning humans into little more than batteries. The truth is too much for Neo. He collapses, screaming to be let out, and vomits violently back on the ship. Morpheus later apologizes, explaining that the mind has trouble letting go. He tells Neo of the prophecy of the One, a messianic figure born inside the Matrix with the power to change it. This original one freed the first humans, but after his death, the Oracle foretold his return to end the war. Morpheus believes that search is over. He believes Neo is the one. Neo's training begins. Tank, the ship's operator, uploads various combat programs directly into Neo's brain. In a matter of hours, Neo learns Jiu-Jitsu, Savate, and Kung Fu. He awakens, breathless, and declares, "Fu." Morpheus challenges him. "Try me." They enter a sparring program where Morpheus explains that the rules of the Matrix, like gravity, can be bent, and some can be broken. They engage in a fierce martial arts battle. Despite his newfound knowledge, Neo is no match for Morpheus, who moves with unbelievable speed. What place? Morpheus urges him to free his mind from the perceived limitations of the physical world. "Free me." Neo begins to adapt, his movements becoming faster, more fluid, but he still hasn't fully let go of his disbelief. In the next test, the jump program, Neo must leap from one skyscraper to another. Despite Morpheus's encouragement to free his mind, fear and doubt cause him to fall, crashing into the pavement below. He wakes up on the ship, bleeding. Morpheus explains a critical rule. The final training program introduces the agents. They are sentient programs that can take over any body still hardwired to the system. They are gatekeepers, guardians of the Matrix, and impossibly powerful. Morpheus reveals that every human who has fought an agent has died, but he believes Neo will succeed because the agent's power is still based on rules. Rules that Neo, as the One, can break. Morpheus tells him, "Get ready, bullets." Suddenly, an alarm blares. A sentinel, a deadly search and destroy machine, is hunting their ship in the real world. The crew powers down the Nebuchadnezzar, hiding in the dark sewers of the old world, waiting in silent terror for the machine to pass. Meanwhile, a member of the crew, Cypher, has been stewing in resentment. He meets with Agent Smith inside the Matrix, making a deal. He will betray Morpheus in exchange for being reinserted into the Matrix as a rich, important person. His memory wiped clean, Cypher declares, "Please," savoring a virtual steak. The next day, Morpheus decides Neo is ready to see the Oracle. She is a mysterious prophetic figure who has guided the Resistance since the beginning. On the way, Trinity reveals that the Oracle told her she would fall in love with the One. The Oracle's apartment is unassuming, filled with children who also possess strange abilities. One boy bends a spoon with his mind, telling Neo, "There is no spoon." The Oracle herself is a kind, grandmotherly woman baking cookies. She immediately plays a mind game, asking Neo not to worry about the vase, causing him to knock it over. He asks, "Anything?" She examines him and bluntly tells him he has the gift, but is not the one. He is waiting for something, perhaps his next life. Then she delivers a devastating prophecy. Morpheus believes in him so blindly that he will sacrifice his own life to save Neo's. And soon, Neo will have to make a choice, Morpheus's life or his own. As they leave the building, Neo experiences deja vu, seeing the same black cat twice. Trinity instantly recognizes it as a glitch in the Matrix, a sign that something has been changed. It is a trap. SWAT teams and agents ambush them, their escape routes blocked. The betrayal is from within. Cypher has led them into the lion's den. During a desperate fight in a crumbling wall, Morpheus sacrifices himself to allow Neo and the others to escape. Morpheus cries, "It matters," as Agent Smith captures him. The remaining crew finds an exit phone, but Cypher has already made his move. He exits the Matrix first and murders his crewmates Tank and Dozer in the real world. He mocks Trinity over the comms, gloating about his deal and his hatred for the real world. He prepares to pull the plug on Neo, taunting Trinity that the One can't be the one if he is dead. But a wounded Tank miraculously recovers and kills the traitor with a laser rifle. Neo and Trinity are safe, but Morpheus is now in the hands of the agents. The agents intend to break into his mind to get the access codes to the mainframe of Zion, the last human city. If they succeed, the Resistance will be annihilated. The crew's only option is to pull the plug on Morpheus, killing him before he can talk. But Neo refuses. He remembers the Oracle's prophecy. This is his choice, Morpheus's life or his own. He tells Trinity he is going back in to save him. She protests, it is suicide. But Neo is resolute. Trinity, declaring that Morpheus means more to her, decides to go with him. Their request to Tank is simple: guns. Neo and Trinity enter the Matrix and stride into the lobby of the government building, armed to the teeth. What follows is an explosive ballet of bullets and acrobatics. They obliterate the security team in a spectacular firefight. They continue their assault, rigging an elevator with a bomb and ascending to the roof. On the rooftop, they face off against an agent. Neo dodges his bullets with impossible speed, moving just like the agents do. He holds the agent at gunpoint, but his speed still isn't enough. The agent is too fast. Trinity saves Neo by putting a bullet in the agent's head at point-blank range. Tank uploads a helicopter pilot program to Trinity. They hijack the chopper and fly to the window, where Morpheus is being held. Neo lays down a storm of fire with a minigun, providing cover for Morpheus to break free. Morpheus makes a heroic leap from the building toward the helicopter. Neo leans out and catches him in midair, saving him. Agent Smith, furious, unloads his pistol into the helicopter's fuel tank. As it is about to explode, Neo and Morpheus slide down the cable to a rooftop. Trinity jumps clear, just as the chopper crashes into a skyscraper in a massive fireball. On the rooftop, Morpheus looks at Neo with new understanding. Trinity. He tells Neo that the Oracle told him exactly what he needed to hear. He shows him the path. They escape to a subway station exit, but before Neo can leave, he is confronted by Agent Smith. Instead of running, Neo decides to fight. Morpheus, watching from the ship, whispers, "Believe." Neo and Smith engage in a brutal subway shaking brawl. Neo's confidence is growing, his skills improving by the second. But Smith is relentless. He puts Neo in a chokehold on the tracks as a train thunders towards them. Death. Neo, in a burst of defiance, shouts and breaks free, leaping to safety as Smith is hit by the train. However, Smith simply possesses another body and continues the pursuit. Back on the ship, Sentinels have breached the hull and are closing in. They have minutes before they are destroyed. Neo races through the city, guided by Tank, to another exit. He reaches the hotel from the beginning of the film, room 303. The exit phone is just down the hall, but as he opens the door, Agent Smith is waiting. He shoots Neo repeatedly in the chest. On the ship, Neo's vitals flatline. He is gone. As the Sentinels begin tearing the ship apart, Trinity refuses to give up. She cradles Neo's body. She confesses that the Oracle told her she would fall in love with the One. He whispers, "I see you." She kisses him. In the Matrix, the kiss sends a ripple of energy through Neo. On the ship, his heart monitor springs back to life. Neo gets up. He is no longer just Neo. He is the One. He now sees the Matrix for what it is. Streams of green code. The agents fire at him, but he simply raises a hand and the bullets stop in mid-air. He effortlessly dispatches the agents before diving into Agent Smith's body, destroying him from the inside out in a flash of light. With seconds to spare, Neo exits the Matrix just as Morpheus unleashes an EMP, disabling the Sentinels and saving the crew. In his final message from within the Matrix, Neo speaks directly to the machines. He promises to show humanity a world without rules, without controls, without them. A world where anything is possible. He hangs up the phone and for the first time takes flight, soaring into the sky.